Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time.
When you add a shake of Frank's Red Hot, you open a world of better. A world where wings bring out the flavor of game day any day. Where buffalo chicken dip takes any party up a notch. And where any slice of pizza instantly becomes the world's best slice of pizza. At least until the next slice. Bring every bite to life with the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that shit on everything.
Guys, welcome to the Bird Brain Podcast, where the goal is to rise above it all, stay elevated, create that infinity, and up your you. I'm your host, Isaiah, and I don't know what this episode is going to be called, but there are a lot of thoughts around your guest list. It might be some changes to it in terms of like who we welcome into our lives, who lives we've been welcomed into, and why. Right? Sometimes what we want is not what we deserve and or need. And we're going to get into that. All right. So if you're driving, wear a seatbelt. If you're at home, just settle in and go along for this ride. All right. Get some water. Stay tuned. Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Monday or happy whatever day you're listening to this. How are you out there? How's everything been? Where's your heart at? How's your heart? If you've been following me, you know I've been like dropping some gems lately. And it's cool, you know, because I think it's a constructive, and I'm grateful that it's been a useful medium for others. You know, just the things I've been talking about around our experiences, the people in our lives that are around during those experiences, and or what we experience with the people in our lives. And I woke up today and I was like, what is this podcast episode going to be about? Because like I said, every podcast is literally a summation of the week or whatever I feel like is on my heart the most. And I'd say this week has been revolving a lot around not giving so much of yourself to the point that you're overlooking what you're on the receptive end of. I know sometimes we want to have people a part of our guest list in life. And these are our people, quote unquote. But what happens when you realize that you're not really your people's people? You know, the people that you want to be your people are not making active effort and or room or showing that you are also their people. See, that's I don't want to say the mistake we make in life, but something that we overlook. Everybody has a different definition of relationships. Everybody also has a different level of effort they're willing to put in certain relationships versus other relationships, because to them, these relationships are important to me. These relationships are not as important to me. And we do it too, right? I think we overlook that. And that's such a thing to be mindful of. It's like nobody wants to know that they don't matter as much as they had hoped or thought when it comes to the people that matter to them. Me not mattering to Joe Schmo won't matter. I don't care, because there's no skin in the game. Or how I feel about Joe Schmo is kind of this level of indifference, or just there's not a connection that strong for me that it would matter, versus someone else that's important to me. It's like it feels a little bit different. And that's what we get caught up in, right? When it comes down to it. How do I explain it? We are blinded by the idea that this person, like we chose these people to be in our lives, and because we chose them, they have to be in our lives, versus us looking at, well, how am I being made to feel? Like, what does that look like? What does that feel like? Right? What level of effort is this person making when it comes to me, versus what effort they make when it comes to other people that are their people, you know? And when you do understand this, I think it gets a little bit easier. I saw a few videos this week where it was like, and I've talked about this before, not overplaying your role in other people's lives, and not giving people a bigger role in your life than what they show up as. It's fair game. You know what I'm saying? It's fair game. And you may, and you will have to change your guest list. And it sucks to say, but it usually happens at moments of milestones, but also your heaviest moments. It's kind of when you learn where you stand and where to place other people. For me, I'm just observant by nature, right? So I know how I move, and then I learn how other people move, right? Be aware of your movement, and then be willing to learn somebody else's movement. Okay? And get out of the habit of saying, man, I would never do that. I'm this person, I'm a giver, I'm gonna do that. And yes, it's disappointing when you're not met with that, but like I said, not everybody is you, and you are not everybody else. But it is okay to recognize who people are and who they are to everybody else, and who they are when it comes to you. Right? Those two things can still happen, because, again, relationships are choice. Active choice. We are always choosing people. We are always choosing people. We are always choosing priority. It's a constant, active, and intentional choice. Somebody may have a friend that they always call on the weekends because it's like, oh yeah, I know that's my party friend, and I'm going to have fun with them. That's an active choice. Why? Because the incentive in that is that I'm going to have fun. Somebody may hit up that one friend or person in their life whenever they have problems. Why? Because it's like, I know this person is comforting. I know they're going to give me what I need, right? Say what I need to hear. And they're just going to make me feel good. Now, who that person chooses to be for both of those people is also an active choice. You see what I'm saying? Because I'll hit that fun friend up because I want to have fun. I want to have fun. And I'm going to be fun with them. I hit up the friend that is good to talk to because I need words of encouragement. I need this, Will I necessarily give that in return? I may not have the capacity to do that. That's why I seek it out, right? And it's this interesting thing that happens when you do understand what your connection is with someone else, because you start feeling a little shortchanged, or enough things start to happen where you understand the dynamics of your relationship without the blinders on, right? And you learn, oh, I'm their person. They're not mine. I'm willing to go the extra mile for this person, but they're not willing to do that for me. They haven't exhibited that either. I've wanted them to, but they don't. So something just dropped in the background, and I'm going to take that as confirmation. But there's so many moments of confirmation in your life that you have and feel about certain relationship dynamics. And when you are going through a lot, or you are, hitting milestones, you become more sensitive. And the reason why I feel is because when we are successful, we want people around to celebrate that with. When we are in our deepest moments, we want community to feel safe with, right? And it's funny because the first people we usually expect or hope to show up are typically the last. Or even when it comes to just making simple effort to spend time together, or whatever case may be, certain people will not prioritize you the way they prioritize other people. For whatever reason, the simple fact is that they just don't. And you're kind of left at this impasse, and you start rationalizing. You're like, oh, well, this and I'm going to tell you something. It's hard to unsee and unfeel certain experiences when they happen. And if you are observant, you catch the nuances of people's behavior. You catch it, you feel it. And if you're the type of person, you're hyper aware for whatever reason, whether it be trauma, usually it is trauma, you're hyper vigilant. So you are always picking up on the small things that mean a big deal to you. And you recognize, oh, okay. And you're like, oh, all right. And usually it's something that you've known all along, right? Or you've been aware of, but you denied it because it didn't fit your ideal of what the connection was supposed to look like. Even in your romantic relationships, same thing applies. Or you listen to people talk and you listen to how they engage in their other relationships. And when it comes to your relationship with them, there is some kind of disconnect or some level of a hiccup. And when that happens, it's like, what do I do now? You adjust, you adapt, you act accordingly. Because the worst thing you can do is to continue to try to make people your people who don't see you as theirs, or they don't treat you like theirs. It's gotta be mutual. In this life, relationships have to be mutual. And yes, there will be times where you probably won't have as much oomph to give, but I can promise you, people don't change. People don't change. So even if you don't have a lot to give and you are a giver, you will still continue to be who you are. Does that make sense? And if people are used to kind of like half-assing you in such a way, or just kind of being who they are and treat the relationship how they see it, they'll continue to do that. They will continue to do that. And it may sting and it may hurt. But one of the things I say is, now that I know better, I do better. Now that I know better, I do better. And because I deserve better, I move better. And that's it. You can't unsee things. You can't unfeel things. You can move through those feelings, but you cannot reverse the feeling. You have to move through it. And once you understand the dynamics of your relationships with certain people based off of history, right? Based off of behavior, based off of patterns, based off of observation, you move with that. And you make the active decision of saying, is this what I want from my connections? Is this what I deserve? And you go from there. I would say this year has been such a season of acceptance. Nothing surprising. Nothing surprising, because sometimes you know what you know before you know it. Does that make sense? You know what you know. It's just you denying the fact that you know it. So this year has been a season of acceptance. And instead of me doing the extra leg work to make a relationship what I may need or what I desire from it, I've just accepted things. And the acceptance comes with the actions from other people. I allow now other people to help me define my relationship with them. Instead of me doing it all on my own, because I'm used to doing everything on my own, I allow people to help me place them in my life. And you should too. Ask for help. Even if you don't ask for it out loud, ask the people in your life for help energetically. Ask them for help to help you figure out the seating arrangements. And when you do that, be aware, because they're going to help you. Okay? And again, when you understand that some people in your life may not be your people because you're also not really their people, that's a beautiful thing. Because there's no need to solve the puzzle any further. It's been solved. All right? So think about that. Let your experiences be moments of acceptance and awareness and ascension and affection for yourself. You know, as you go through these seasons, it all comes back to the importance of loving yourself and being around love and being open to other people loving you. And truth be told, people showing you exactly who they are and how they feel about you in their own way they're taking care of you by not taking care of you. Why? Because they're giving you the clarity that you need to adjust accordingly. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you have an amazing week. Shout out to the Mama Dukes. It's her birthday. Happy birthday. And all my Leos out there, happy birthday. Happy birthday to Renee, one of my Patreon supporters. It is also her birthday. I wish you guys so much peace. And if you've been going through transitional periods, let that skin shed, okay? Don't let it harden you. And be at peace knowing that you inevitably adapt to the challenges that come your way. And you need people, and you also deserve people. But you deserve your people, not just anybody. All right? If you like what you're listening to, head on over to Apple or Spotify or anywhere you listen to the podcast and leave a rating, leave a review. Tell people what you like. The ratings help push the podcast into the algorithm, and it allows other people to discover this podcast. And that's what we're trying to do. Just build a bigger nest, you know. So if you like this podcast and you want to help this podcast, leave a rating at the end of this episode. If you want to become a Patreon supporter or Apple Podcast subscriber, you can do that too. The link is in the bio. The e-journal is available, Birds of a Feather. It's not your typical journal. It has little passages there to just help you through, you know, to just get you through your day, to open up your thinking space and your heart space a little bit more, but also just moments of encouragement. And if you want coaching is also available. And we could get that going as well. And it's something I really appreciate when it comes to working with my clients. And I love when they have these aha moments, or they tell me, hey, I've caught these things now, or I'm aware of these patterns now, and this is how I handle things now. Such an amazing thing. I love it. I'm grateful for that. And the coloring book is still available if you order the book. It will be coming. It's just a little slower around this time to get orders shipped out, but they're coming, so don't fret. There's new merch available on the Bird Brain merch store. Mugs, t-shirts, different colors now, and there'll still be more to come. But yeah, just keep taking care of yourselves, all right? Keep taking care of each other, and take flight.